Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I see this opportunity to welcome you people to this World Press Conference on review of 2019 election. I welcome all the party leaders and our presidential candidates for 2019 general election. I now hand the microphone to Mr. Danjuma Mohammed to introduce the program or the agenda of today's press conference.
Thank you very much. Very quickly, before I start, I would like to once again tender apology for keeping you waiting till this hour. It was unintended, and we do seek and crave your indulgence to please understand with us. It is due to circumstances beyond our control. Like he said, I am Danjuma Mohammed. I was the presidential candidate of Movement for the Restoration and Defense of Democracy, MRDD, and I am still the national chairman of the party. First, I want to tell you that this forum, this is the forum of presidential candidates and political parties for good governance. As some of you are aware, this forum before the election was the forum that endorsed the eventual winner of the 2019 presidential elections, talking about His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari. And thank God we're here today. And the main reason for this press briefing is no any other than to defend the integrity of the election that produced Muhammadu Buhari for his second term. And after the background I'm about to give, my forum chairman, Honorable Alhaji Chitu Muhammad, will read his address. But before then, like I said, there are certain things that we really need to understand so that we can appreciate the reason why we were here. If you can recall, as members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, shortly before the general elections, some political parties, 3 political parties, went to court to seek for an order to restrain the President of Nigeria from assenting the Electoral Act bill. Then the truth of the matter was that it was a proactive move to forestall what will have become a monumental electoral confusion in Nigeria. We thank God we got that through. That bill was not assented to, and it was because of one major provision. We crave for innovation. That provision that stipulates that elections should run or results should be transmitted electronically truly will have created confusion. Today you have a political party that contested in that election. Today you have a political party that contested in that election, bragging or boasting to having gained access to the server of the election manager. For God's sake, if truly that election were to be conducted on electronic transmission of results, do you think that that party that had access, unauthorized access to the server of the election manager will not have influenced its own election? And don't you think that would have launched Nigeria into an endless political impasse? So for God's sake, we crave your indulgence to understand the reasons why we did what we did. Thank you very much. As I hand over the microphone to my forum chairman. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, there are many here. Well, I have to introduce the high table. I am Danjuma Ali Muhammad, like I told you. And on my left, I have Chief Perry Opara, the national chairman of NUP. I have Ajia Dr. Rabi Jengis, the national chairman and presidential candidate of NAC, National Action Council. And the forum chairman, Alhaji Shitu Mohammed, he was the presidential candidate, and he's still the national chairman of ABDA, Advanced People's Democratic Alliance. And by his side is the public secretary of the forum, Alhaji Dantele Yusuf Nadabu, the national chairman presidential candidate of APM. Yes, you have the presidential candidate also of ACD, Chief Umar Kafo. And you also have the presidential candidate of NUP, Chief Moses Ayibu. And by the far, okay, you have Alhaji Isa Bashai, the presidential candidate of MMM. And you have, there is a mass movement of Nigeria. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. You have the national chairman. We have the national chairman on the far right of ANDP. That is Barrister Charles. Very good. Thank you very much. My forum chairman, you can take it from here.
Gentlemen of the press, this is text of the joint press conference of the 2019 presidential election review after we have all sat and reviewed the presidential election. The just concluded 2019 presidential election, the most recent in our democratic journey, was very eventful. Nigerians must recall that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, most commendably released for the very first time the timetable for the election as a full year before the poll day. The activities preparatory to the election were all done in line with the timelines, hence Nigerians were in shock when the election were postponed. The event that avoided the shift on INEC, we later discovered, were due to sabotage and political manipulation, which were prompted by politicians to gain undue advantage in the election. We, however, applaud the proactive leadership of Electoral Commission for taking the best decision in the interest of the nation to shift the opening polls and conduct of the elections. For us, who were direct participants in this election, and with the information we had, we felt the election was impossible in 7 days. Hence it was a major pull for INEC to have conducted it that time without any major hitch. In the build-up to the election, we as presidential candidates on other political parties had several meetings with INEC. The delay in finalizing the electoral legal framework deprived the nation of the such needed reform of our electoral process. The needless controversy over the INEC server will have been lawful, as it will have been mandatory for the Commission to deploy the server. We are aware that INEC has run pilot on electronic transmission of the result. It had informed us that these pilots were deployed in Anambra, Ondo, Ekiti, and Osun governorship elections. However, INEC informed all political parties in the election, following the non-passage of the Electoral Act, that it will not deploy the electronic transmission of results, since it will not be lawful to do so. We must inform Nigerians now that the People Democratic Party was represented in those meetings, and we do not know why they are hitting up the politics with the server story. This INEC server controversy is a deliberate ploy to destroy the integrity of our electoral process. Can the so-called result from the server be referred to as credible, where INEC could not have legitimately transmit result of the presidential or any of the other elections electronically? Gentlemen of the press, having gathered as presidential candidates and political party leaders, we thoroughly x-rayed the 2019 election, the unfavorable and hostile environment the election management body operated under, and the extant law under which the elections were conducted, have come to the emphatic conclusion that the INEC performed creditably well and we hereby unequivocally reaffirm our confidence in INEC for its performance against all odds in the conduct of 2019 general election. There were several innovations introduced by INEC which made the 2019 election freer, fair, and more credible than what we obtained in the past election, such as the simultaneously accreditation and voting, the introduction of assistive innovation for physical challenge voters, the continuous voter registration which added 14 million new voters to the register were but a few of the innovations introduced by INEC. Therefore, the report of the European Union Election Observation Mission released over a week ago, wherein they allege a lack of transparency in the guidelines of election, is bewildering. With all due respect, the EUM is left to Nigerians to decide how we conduct our 2019 general elections. INEC consult widely and extensively, and together with stakeholders of which we are part of, came up with the guideline for the conduct of 2019 general election, which the Commission followed to the letter. We recall that 9 out of the 11 points for consideration we raised as candidates under the auspices of the IPA and CUPP, respectively, were adopted by Commission. However, can the EU accuse the Commission of a lack of transparency in putting up guidelines for the election? We reiterate that INEC server controversy is unnecessary. It is a plot to discredit the election, as political parties never agree with INEC in any of the several pre-election meetings. That result will be transmitted electronically. Parties agree on a lot of issues with the Commission, and those were implemented in its wordsum that only one political party out of several and different on the presidential election, while at the same time praising its romance on the other election, especially governorship conducted by the same INEC. Therefore, we would like to urge the 9th National Assembly to revisit the electoral bill passed by the 8th National Assembly and resent to the President. The electoral bill amendment will hugely improve our electoral system and its process. We also demand the immediate setting up of the process that will lead to the sanctioning of all personnel of security agencies who compromise the election to serve as a deterrent to others, and exhibit that there are consequences for risking the peaceful coexistence of the country and putting the country in danger. And at this junction, we call on the 9th National Assembly that they should look at the bill proposed for electoral offense, which when I was chairman of Interparty Advisory Council 2012, we had sent this bill to the National Assembly. It should be considered so that people could be brought to book. We urge all Nigerians to remain peaceful and law-abiding and go about their lawful duty, as we believe that the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has for now put the controversy to rest with the ruling it gave yesterday. Let us support our electoral system to make it better and secure the right of Nigerians to freely choose their leaders. Thank you, gentlemen of the press, for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this juncture, we'll call on Mr. Chief Perry Opara for his remark.
Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm. We thank you for coming. My job, I say, is a goodwill message. I want to thank you for sparing your precious time to be here on time and listening attentively to what we have come here to do. Our job as leaders of political parties in Nigeria is to set a template for unborn children, our children, the next generation, so that stability will be in this nation, so that our democracy will thrive and grow. And the only way our democracy will grow is if democracy is sustained. If fifth columns are not encouraged. We advise political party chairmen, we advise politicians to try as much as they can to calm their nerves, and also have confidence in the electoral body. Good at it, we have the judiciary, where people who feel offended can go to and seek redress. We have confidence in our judiciary, and we do know that judiciary is the hope of the common man, the last hope of the common man. I want to thank you people for sparing your time again to come be here, and I want to wish you people as you depart, you go in peace. May God bless you. Thank you.
We've come to the end of the World Press Conference on the review of the 2019 election by 60 presidential candidates of the 2019 election and also political party chairmen who have come to put forward their opinion on the developments happening in the political scene and also to put their position forward for as regards the election, the just concluded election. At this note, we would like to thank you for staying with us. We'll now go back to Lagos for our regular programming.